Afternoon. Appreciate y'all being in here. Again, this is Coach AJ Arnold Austin. Real quick, tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about loyalty. It's a topic that I've been studying for the last week or so. And so I'm going over some information that I know that's going to make a tremendous difference to you and in your life. When you look at loyalty, or the part of the title, how I started this is why is disloyalty alive and loyalty dead? And that concept or that thought process came from YouTube, but it also came from looking around, being a coach, looking around and seeing what people are doing, being observant, because I'm in counsel with many people. I'm not just in counsel with women, I'm in counsel with women and men. And I see all of the different scenarios. I see a lot of the different things that are going on around us. I see the disloyalty. I see how there's a lot of hardships and hurts and pains that are in people's lives based upon things that are going on around them that's outside of their control. Good evening, Renee. And so because of that, that's where this lesson was birthed, because I have a heart where I want to help people to not make the same mistakes over and over again. I want people to be able to transition their lives and move to the next level. And so when you look at this whole process, or this whole thought process, this all comes from a lesson that I taught last week on signs of a safe partner versus a partner that is not safe. Because a safe partner should be someone that you come to when you have when there's an issue. Thank y'all for the likes, the shares, for joining us. Thank you for the taps. Thank you for subscribing. Thank y'all for all the things that you're doing. When you have people that are coming to your life, part of them being a safe partner is that when they come into your life, they're not going to be so responsive to things. They're going to be more the type of person. In other words, they're not going to be so reactive to things, because they're going to want to be a safe space. Part of being a safe space is that they're going to come from more of a responsive place. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, if you come to them with a problem, or you bring something to their attention, something that is and I'll get to the topic, but I'm just sharing this as an example real quick. Something that is an issue for you. You come to them, and you talk to them about it, and you say, yo, I noticed that whenever we go out, you're doing ABC, X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, 3. I find it very disrespectful. I find it very hurtful. When you bring that to their attention, if they're a safe space, they're not going to automatically lash out and go into the ego, into the temper, and go to the place of reaction. But they're going to actually hear you, because one of the greatest parts with all of this that we're all trying to do with these relationships, with these friendships, with anything that we're trying to do concerning that, is getting to a place where we can actually hear what our partner is saying, but also see them. Some people aren't as good at articulating what they want as others. So you have to be able to see see through the vision of where your person is in that moment. And if they're bringing you something, or tell them, like, look, if something is really serious to you, tell me that that's something that look, this is what I'm about to tell you is something that's really serious to me, and I need you to give me your undivided attention. It's very, very simple, but this is part of communication, getting to know your person. And so this is why part of the process of getting to know them, you have to know that they are a safe space. Now, why am I talking about that? Because if you're in a relationship with an individual and there is no loyalty, they are not a safe space. Why aren't they a safe space? Because they're always up. There's always the ups and downs. There's always the inconsistencies. If they are not loyal, how could you trust them? Because the foundation, that they're not building on a solid foundation. I should be able to trust you and know that what you're doing, where you're going, and what you're doing, that nothing that you're doing is going to bring shame and disrespect to me, because I'm doing the same thing to you. I'm not bringing any shame and disrespect to you. So if you look at the definition, loyalty represents a firm, unwavering commitment. So you want to find people that have made commitments in the past, but also that are willing to make a commitment right now. So, and part of that is asking the right questions. When you're meeting people, you have to ask the right questions, because it's easy to say the right things. And a lot of people that you're going to meet, especially if they're highly manipulative, they know all of the psychology jargon. They know all of the right things to say. They know about gaslighting. They've read all this stuff, and they know about kitchen sinking, and they know about this, and they know about narcissists, and they got all the terms and all the stuff down. They know all that stuff, but the problem is they can't live it. They can't back up all that lip service with action. They can't do what they're talking about. So that's the first problem. Put lip service in the comments if you're in here. And so part of the problem is they're talkers of something. If you're a person of commitment, you're not just a talker of something, you're a doer. You're not just a talker, you're a doer. So put doer in the comment. And so when you look at loyalty, loyalty represents an unwavering, firm, unwavering commitment. So that commitment is solid. It's solid like a rock. It's solid. It's on a solid foundation. It's built on something that will last. It's not wavering and tossed to and fro with every wind and doctrine. But what it is it's solid. It's strong. Because based upon you going through the process, based upon you believing, based upon you sticking in there with this individual, and you're going through the process where you're getting to a place where they've shown you whether they're a person that's a safe person or they're not. And so that's a question that you have to ask yourself when you're meeting people. Are they a safe space or aren't they? Are they safe or aren't they? Can I come and bring to them information and then not use that information against me at a later date because they're mad? Are they safe or aren't they? If they're safe, they're not going to use information against you as an attack. Yes, they might bring up an example to say, yo, babe, when you said such and such and such, this is the example that you said. You're kind of doing that right now. And I'm not saying this to attack you. I'm saying this that if we're going to talk about this stuff, we need to have everything line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. So we got to be checks and balances. We got to be there for each other as checks and balances and be there as a monitor to make sure that we're both going in the same direction. So again, it's a firm, unwavering commitment. Commitment is something that's powerful because when you commit to something, first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get excited about the commitment. Second thing that's going to happen is after you make the commitment, life is going to test the commitment. Life is going to test the marriage. Life is going to test you going to the gym. Life is going to test what you're eating. That commitment that you say about your eating. Life is going to test your commitment to your spirituality. Life is going to test your commitment to your siblings. Whatever you commit to, it's going to test that commitment. And so the test on that commitment is going to be there's going to be outside events that's going to take place. Good to see you, Mirs. Good to see you, Lataya. Good to see you, Renee. There's outside events that are going to come to pass that are going to take place, but you're going to test you to see if what you said, you really mean it. Do you really mean what you said, or are you just flapping off, and are you yapping, and are you talking? Because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where things get hot. This is where you got to make a commitment, and you got to stick to it, and you got to fight the good fight of faith, and you got to believe. But it all started with, when we started this tonight, we started with the process of understanding if the person that you're meeting is a safe space or not. You can't expect commitment from a unhealthy person, a person that is still dealing with a lot of trauma. I don't want to say this to hurt anybody's feelings. If you're meeting a person that is full of a lot of past traumas, it's going to be very hard for them to fulfill the commitment that you're asking because of their past. If they haven't gone on the journey of looking at self and doing the introspection and the search and the seek and the finding of who they are and going through their journey and getting on their face and doing their prayers and meditation and the things that they need to do and the grounding and the breath work and all of the things that are needed, all of the things that are part of the process, the reconnecting back and getting that nervous system back in a healthy spot and actually dealing with what they dealt with, doing the journaling, doing the writing, staying connected into a group or community of people that are moving in the same direction. If they're not doing those things, it's going to be hard for them to do it alone because most of us don't know the steps that we need to take. This is why I share so much. I just give information away, which I shouldn't be. I should be charging for a lot of this stuff because people don't know the next direction or next steps that they should take. Just like I did. So I'm the first one to raise my hand. I didn't know what to do next. And there's still parts of this. I'm still like groping in the dark, like a man that has blinders on. I'm trying to find my way, but that's part of us walking that faith walk or walking out there and doing something that we've never done before. If you're going to do something you've never done before, you're going to walk in the dark. You're going to walk in places that other people are going to look at you like they're going to think something is wrong with you because you've been given a vision. But the vision wasn't given to them. The vision was given to you. Man, come on, y'all. The vision was given to you. That's why so many people will have opinions about it, but they weren't in on that dream or that vision that the Creator gave you. That thing that was shown to you that you need to do. That's part of you fulfilling that destiny or that purpose in life that you've been placed here to do. But when you connect into that thing, it's about commitment. And a lot of this I'm talking about commitments in relationships, but we got commitments, and I'm gonna go over 4 or 5 different things real quick. Commitment, it entails more than those couple things that I mentioned. Commitment can represent commitment to our friends, our family. I jotted a couple things down before I got on here, y'all. Our friends, our family, your church or your community. Some people are committed to their politics. Some people are committed to their work or their business. And so there's numerous different areas and things where this commitment can overlap and can kind of we can have your job. And so we're committed to these things. And so based upon those examples that I just shared, this is why it's so easy for us to understand. It should be easy for us to understand that you can be committed. That's why when someone is unfaithful and disloyal, it is all done based upon generally preconceived thoughts or something that's within them. It's nobody else's fault if someone is disloyal. Disloyalty is some kind of issue that's within that individual. It has nothing to do with you. And that's why you can't do anything to change them from the condition that they're in. This isn't about trying to save other people. This is about identifying the people that are around you and understanding if you're in a relationship with a person that is disloyal, then that is an unsafe relationship. If it's an unsafe relationship, you're going to end up putting yourself in a position because you're trusting someone that is disloyal. You're putting yourself in a position to have heartbreak. Heartbreak is when someone does something to make us no longer see them in the same light because of acts that they done which brought pain to us. But the acts that they did which brought pain, I'm trying to prevent. This is why I'm sharing this message with you about being careful, watching what you're seeing. If the actions, I say it over and over again, if the actions are not matching the words, then you cannot trust it. You can't make it what it's not. This isn't magic. This isn't hocus pocus. This isn't some galagazoo or galagaz. This is what it is. We got to see what we see and believe what we see. If we see it, then that's what it is. Don't try to make it something that it's not. I made that mistake. I tried to make a person that wasn't something what they were. Because in my mind, I didn't want to see them in that manner. But that's what they were. That's what they wanted to be. Why am I trying to make them something that they don't want to be? Trying to be somebody's, savior. Trying to do it for them. Being there for everybody. And I said this the other day, but when I was at my most painful, lowest place, I didn't have anybody. I had my mom and dad that I could go to, but I'm saying as far as like my local close friends, there was nobody around. If the Most High, if God didn't bless me to find my coach, I would have been like a person walking around just totally confused. Because I did not know, when I say this, I mean it. I did not know what I should do next. But it's just like everything that happens for me personally in my life, there's always a person that comes into my life. There's always a person that comes into my life, and I might need to get a cord. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I got to get a cord. Back. So what I was saying is there's always people. Y'all stayed. Y'all all right with me. I find that there's always people that come into my life that are a help in some capacity when I need to know what is the next step that I need to take. And I don't, it's not something I take for granted. It's something that I'm grateful for. When I was in real estate, first starting out, there was an older gentleman. He was a German guy. Really, really, everybody felt like he was a mean guy and hard guy. And I talk about this all the time, but this guy, for whatever reason, he found favor in me. And I wasn't someone that was looking for favor from him because I didn't care what he thought. Um, I worked for him in the capacity of I did a lot of the repairs on the houses and stuff that he had at that point when I first met him. So if he had, because he owned, like, he was one of the bigger rental landlords type guys in the area, and so when I met him, my only focus was building up this construction company and doing what I was doing. I wasn't trying to impress him. I didn't care about all that. But for whatever reason, this man found favor in me. And so what he would start doing is that he would start taking me to lunch. And I'm going to get back to my topic, but I got to share this story because it's just part of how, to me, it ties into what I'm talking about as far as, there always being someone that pops up, or there's always a ram in the bush, so to speak, or there's always someone that finds favor, that gives that helping hand, or that gives that wisdom, or gives that insight or something. There's always someone that shows up at the right time. And this particular man, what he did was when he would take me to lunch, it would give me an opportunity to actually talk to him. Because when I was working, I'm the type of person, when I'm working, I'm just, I ain't got time to talk. Yeah. Even when I would talk to people on the phone, I was really short. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So pretty much when I was on the phone with them talking, when I think back, they knew that you needed to hurry up, get to your point, because my mannerism on the phone was, come on, hurry up, let's go, hurry up. And I couldn't see it then. I see it now because I'm a whole lot more relaxed and I'm a whole lot calmer. First of all, I'm not running the company, but back then I was just, and so when I was talking to him, I got a chance to actually get to know who he was as a person. And for whatever reason, this man found respect. He respected me based upon where I was in my spiritual beliefs, because he would always ask me to do certain things. And I'm talking about loyalty. He asked me to work on certain days, and based upon my beliefs at that time, I would not work on these days based upon what I believed, my spiritual beliefs, so on and so forth. So this man, it built a lot of respect in him for me, because I wasn't willing to compromise money for what I believe spiritually. And so that made a big impression on him. But I wasn't, my thought was about impressing the creator, not that I wasn't thinking about impressing him. But this is part of what I'm trying to share with you. So through this man started taking the time to teach me real estate. This is how I started learning real estate. I found a mentor without actually knowing that I needed, or I was going to get a mentor. Like, I wasn't shown that I was going to get a mentor. This man ended up teaching me real estate. And most people would have wanted him as a mentor because, again, he was the biggest real estate guy in our area, in the Park, Jersey that I'm in. He passed away a number of years back, but he was one of the largest. And this man ended up teaching me a lot of things. And one of the things that I found out before he passed, because he ended up having a double stroke and so on and so forth. And his wife told me one day, she said, one of the things, Arnold, that he would always talk about you is that your commitment, first of all, your spiritual commitment, but also he would talk about the fact that whenever I would approach him and talk to him, I'd never talk to him about asking him to get me anything. He liked the fact that I wasn't always the type that, lend me this, or do this for me, or help me do that. No, my mindset for him was I wanted to understand or learn what he knew. Because I understood that if I learned what this man knew, who had already gone ahead of me down the road and was fulfilling and doing what I wanted to do, once I got a glimpse of it and saw the financial rewards of it, it would shorten my time. I wouldn't go through all of the bumps in the road and all of the hardships and all of the pains because someone else had already gone down before me. This is why I talked about my coach. She had already gone before me. She had already set the example before. She had already been married 35 years. Her spouse had already left her. She already had all the issues that went on with her kids and them rejecting her and all the stuff that I was going to end up going through. She already went through that. Family turning on her spiritual community turning on her, all these people, she already went through that. So if I called her and talked to her about something, she could already relate to it. I already been down that road. This is what's going to happen next. ABC, 1, 2, 3, because she already knew what was going to happen next. Because she had already paid the price. And this is why you hear me say that the people that I need to come up in my life, they always show up at the right times. That's my belief. And also, every door that shuts is just one more opportunity for another door to open. If a door shuts, it's shutting for something better, bigger, and more and easier to come into my life. Because I'm at the stage where everything is easy street. No more, no more. And so when you look at this is part of why I'm sharing this information with y'all. Because just like I have a coach for my healing, just like I had a coach for my real estate, I'm sharing with y'all the information so that you don't have to go through all of the bumps and the bruises, y'all. So that you can have so that your road can be easier. Because someone else has already gone down that road, right? So let's get back to the definition. Appreciate y'all being in here. Thank y'all for the taps and the likes and the shares. I'm sorry I left for a minute, but y'all still here, so that's good. That's a good thing. Put I'm excited in the comments. Put I'm excited in the comments. Thank y'all for being in here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what I don't know what that face means. Mirrors and memories. I don't know what that face means, but I appreciate y'all tapping the screen because somehow or another that affects the thing, and more people come in here and it gets more exciting and blah blah and whatever, so on and so forth. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Latoya. So loyalty, a firm, unwavering commitment. A firm, unwavering commitment. The commitment that y'all have, those that are in here, y'all are people of commitment. Because I don't have a certain day that I come on here, but I guess you get a notification I'm on here, and then y'all are popping up in here. That's commitment. You're someone that's committed to your health or your healing and your well-being. This information I'm giving, this will help you when you're meeting whoever you're supposed to meet. As you, like Renee, end up meeting someone, and whoever, as you're meeting people, it'll help you to make better decisions because you will be informed when you're making the decision. So it's a firm, unwavering commitment to a person, a group, or a cause. And so you have to look at what are the things in your life that you are committed to. What are the things in your life that you're loyal to? The things that I find that are most important to me right now, because I'm off from my that one company, the guys I was helping with those modulars. I'm transitioning to something else, and so my right now my loyalty is to this. I'm trying to dedicate more time to this part of the business instead of as much to real estate. So a firm level commitment to a group or cause or an institution. And that's what I was talking about earlier about, your church or your organization that you're involved with, whether it's a basketball team or whatever it is. All of us have commitments and things that we are committed to. And a lot of these things are based upon things that we have decided to be committed to. And this is why my mindset on commitment is pretty stern. And it doesn't waver. If you're in a commitment with a person in a relationship, I try to stress to people the importance of keeping your commitment to that person. If you are not going to keep your commitment to that person, I stress the individuals that you want to tell that person, because not every individual handles disloyalty the same. This is why there's so many people that are in these prisons right now, because they found out that someone was disloyal to them and they psychologically could not handle it. It was too much for them. And it's kind of ironic. When I was a young kid, I got stories for days, y'all, and this is true story. When I was a young kid, my dad ended up telling me a story about one of my uncles, which I didn't know. I'll say I knew my uncle for a number of years, but I didn't know this story about him until years later when my dad told me. And when my dad told me the story, he told me the story about my uncle was married to a certain woman. And, of course, he thought he was happy, and he's coming home every day, and it's yeah, and I'm not sure. Mirrors and memories. You said I'm funny. I'm not sure what you mean, Lakaya. We're dead. Okay, but let me finish this real quick while I'm on it. But the point of the matter is, he ended up coming home one day. He ended up finding out that his wife of so many years was cheating. And my dad's uncle was a very gentle man, but he was huge. He was a big dude. My dad's side is a little larger. They're taller. My dad is like the runt in the group. He's probably 5'9", but all his brothers are 6'2". His brother's 6'2", and his uncles are 6'3", 6'4". My mom's side, they're all short. They're all midgets, like 5'2", 5'5", 5'2", 4'8". They're all short, like short. And so when he ended up coming home, and like I said, this man, when you met him, he was a gentle person. He was not a vocal person. He was not a loud person. He was a person that he loved completely with his heart. He was genuine. He gave and did things for people. And when he found out that she was cheating, because he ended up walking in the house on him, he ended up having to go to prison because of the violence, the level of violence that he executed upon uh, the people in that house. And so when my dad told me that story, I thought about it years later, because that story made an impact on me. Because part of what it did was it made a decision in my mind of things that I don't want to do, or I'm not interested in doing, versus things that I would do. Because even when he came home after being in prison, because that's what I'm saying, when I met him as a kid, I would have never known that he was in prison, because he was he was just a gentle giant. I can remember he had huge hands, and he was one of the first influences I had around me that taught me like construction and plumbing and electric, and because this man knew everything. And the point that I wanted to make with that story is that you never know how people are going to react when they're hurt. But the level of the hurt is a lot of times in direct proportion to the level of how open and how much that person actually loved you and was giving themselves to you, and how betrayed they feel in that moment. But part of the decision that I made when I heard that story, and again, it was unconscious, but it was a decision I made, is that I would never argue. I was never going to argue or fight over no woman. And it's something that I often told my sons, because my sons would have women, or girls, I can't say women, girls calling the house all the time. Because at the times had changed by the time they were dating, and they were musicians and this, that, and the other, and they were DJs. And so they knew a lot of people. And I said, don't ever get out here and fight nobody over no woman. If she wants you, she's going to be with you. If she don't, let her go. And so with that being said, it's still all a part of commitment, because part of commitment that I didn't talk about that is important is the commitment that you're going to make to yourself. What commitment are you going to make to yourself? Because there's others around you that are going to make commitments, and those commitments that they might make are going to bring pain to you. And if you haven't made a commitment to yourself to be wise and not to be controlled by other people and not to be a victim, but to be empowered and to know that you can do all things through the Most High who strengthens you. And there has to be a level of loyalty and commitment to yourself first. So that's the first part, is loyalty and commitment to yourself. That's all I'm going to share with y'all tonight. My goal is to try to get on here for like 15 minutes, just to give y'all something. I've been on here for almost 30. And of course, I can give you all a lot more, because I got a bunch of notes, because I've been writing notes and writing some things out and jotting some things and putting up some things. But yeah, Mira, that's a true story. And but my dad is a wise man. He was a pastor, and he often taught me things through stories, just like my grandfather. And I understood what he was saying without him actually saying what he was saying. And again, I didn't realize a lot of things that he said until years later, when I would sit around and think about things when I was writing. And if you get a chance, I don't know if you, for anybody out there, if you get a chance, this book was written through a lot of time alone, a lot of introspection, a lot of in this book I talk about my journey of healing and steps that I took. And later on in the chapters I talk about the stages of grief, and pages like I talk about forgiveness in the last chapter. And if you've been following me, you know that forgiveness wasn't something that was easy. But in the later chapters, like 6, 7, 8, I talk about the stages of grief. If you've been through some type of heartbreak, where you lost a spouse, or because I'm finding a lot of people that have lost spouses, or for whatever reason, they're coming around the business that I'm building a lot more. And those are just as difficult as if someone was still alive, because, or I'll say they're difficult. I won't put a degree on how difficult, but they're difficult, especially if you really cared about that person. And a lot of the people that are in those situations, they really cared about that person. They really cherished the person and wanted things to work. And a lot of times, this person maybe had a sickness that popped up out of nowhere, and then everything changed. Their life was changed. Their life was different. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the likes, the shares, the taps, the subscribes, the follows, the whatever they tell y'all to do. I appreciate all of it, and I'm going to try to be a help to y'all. But if there's a topic or something that y'all want to discuss, and if y'all want to get on here a couple of days a week and just have conversations, if y'all want to talk about things, let me know that too. Because I don't have to come on here and teach something. We can come on here and just have like a community, just we can kind of talk and ask questions, and you can kind of interact with other people that are going through similar situations as yourself. But if you're coming in here right now, we appreciate you for this. If you would subscribe and follow and all those things, but also go back and watch this video from the beginning. I did have a short piece where I had to run and go get a cord to plug my computer in, because I've been using this thing all day. And so yeah, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being in here. And I'm going to take a picture of this, and because I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Because like I say it all the time, and I mean it. There's other things that you could be doing, but you decided to be here. So thank y'all. Should I? Yeah, smile, Mirrors, smile. You're funny. Should I smile? Yeah, smile. Oh, you don't have to smile. I, I'll just put a post up there. Thank y'all for tapping. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Do y'all have any questions? Anything y'all want to discuss? Because, like I said, if you think about it and y'all are interested in it, I'll right now, because of where my schedule is, I can do a couple days a week, maybe 2, 3 days, whatever. How many days? And we can, if we don't have I mean, of course, I can come up with a topic, but if we don't have a topic, we can come in here and have conversations. I got to find out how we can get on panels, and if we can't do it that way, then I'll have to maybe I think I can. Then we'll just have to go to TikTok, and I'll just open up the panels. We can talk on there if you want. Because I'm not paying for a service. I'm just not doing that right now. Yeah. Do you have questions, mirrors, and memories? No, that's what I'm saying. Renee, I'm not paying for schools. I'm not paying for anything. I've paid for all of these services and all this stuff. I got to get this coaching business paying me back. Because I put out thousands of dollars in this thing. And so I'm looking to get some of it back in some capacity, you know. So, and I will at some point, at some point. So, because I was running the ads and I was doing the web class, and that was very expensive. But I was willing to do it because, well, again, my goal is to try to build a community of people that are interested in getting past where they were, getting past all of the confusion, getting past the heartache and the suffering, and and getting to a place of clarity where they can understand what are their next steps, what are the next things that they can do, to get better. How do I get better? What do I do next? That's the question I was asking when I got my answer. How can I get over this? How can I get to the next step? How can I emotionally move past this? Why am I in so much pain? I was in so much pain because I actually loved somebody. You know. Um, that's a good question, Mirrors. That's a good question. The question is, what are your thoughts on insecurities? Like, how do you convince your partner that you're not doing anything wrong? That's a very good question. Why would they think that you're doing something wrong? That's the first question I would ask you. Oh, 10 years? Oh, Renee, I did okay. I didn't know that. I didn't realize it had been that long. Wow. But yeah, if you've lost a person that you loved, there's still a grieving process that you, of course, you have to go through that. It should be in my mind, I try to rationalize it that it should not be as maybe challenging as someone that's still alive that hurt you, um, because your hurt would be as a result of that person passing, not because they did something to violate you and to destroy you and to hurt you. Um, Insecurities is something that you will never be able to resolve. The last woman that I talked to, attractive woman, smart. I mean, this woman made really, really good money. I mean, she had this woman made money, smart, so on and so forth. Knew how to talk, dress. I mean, she had it all the things together. Very, very insecure from the place of, oh, you're on social media, and you got all those women talking to you every other night. And this is when I was doing TikTok all the time, every night, and some YouTube between, a couple times a week. I don't feel comfortable with these women that are, and I'm on there sharing. I'm on there. I'm not on there trying to date nobody. I'm not on there trying to holler at nobody and talk to nobody. I'm on there trying to just provide a service. I'm trying to be a help, just like my coach was a woman. You know, I feel like as a man, I can help women that are coming out of a situation like that because I'm coming from a male perspective that I can give them a different view where they can see certain things that they probably wouldn't see from their female side. And we had so many discussions about it, and I got to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm done with this because, I'm one thing that I'm not is I'm not going to keep defending me. This is just the way Arnold is. I'm not going to defend myself over and over again about something that you're insecure about, especially if I haven't given you a reason to be insecure. That's why I asked you the question, Mir. What have you done to make them think that you're insecure, that you're, you know, um, but part of that briefcase, that could be an insecurity for them because you kept some kind of memorability from a past person. But everybody's situation is there. That's something that for me, that's a massive turn off. So any insecurities like that, I know that I can't have that person in my life because I know that eventually, at some point, I'm going to be on really, really huge stages. There's going to be more women. There's going to be 50 women on a live. It'll be 10,000 people in a room. And so if she can't handle 50 people in a live, she's not going to be able to handle 50 people, 5,000 or 20,000 people in a room. And it's just that simple. And so my commitment to is, because I'm gonna go right back to the lesson we're teaching on loyalty and commitment. My first commitment is to myself, and the second commitment is knowing that I have to know that I'm not going to allow other people's insecurities to influence whether I'm going to stay on track with my purpose or not, because I know that the woman that I'm supposed to be with, she's not going to have a problem with being secure about that because I already know that she's somehow in this field in some capacity. She's already had success. I know that already. She has a level of success already. So she already has success. And the success that she has is going to help me in some capacity. I was already shown these things through dreams and through. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's my thing too. Is I tell people all the time I'm not a good liar, so I don't even try to lie. I want to tell you what I think, and if you like it, you do. If you don't, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm not a good liar, nor do I try to lie. Yeah, that's why I don't even waste my time. So You joined the group back then? Yeah, I understand that. Well, that's important because you got to have community around that's there that can help you get past where you are. Because part of this journey is it makes it so much easier. And I found this out by going through mine, is it's so much easier when you have other people that are in the same same condition or going through the same process as you. What's up, H. Jones? I wasn't able to send you that video because I don't have I guess I would have needed an email or something. But I tried, I looked on there, and I just could not. I wasn't able to send you that video. So, somebody else had a question? Mirrors and memories. Here, let me turn this light on. Oh, my light bulb went out. Oh, that's why that's dark. Oh, I got to change my light bulb. Oh, yeah. So that was part of this whole thing is commitment, and then knowing yourself, but also knowing the person that's going to fit into your life. I often tell people that if you are a person that's aspiring to levels of success, you're a writer, you're a speaker, you're an athlete of some sort, you have to have a person that can handle you being a high profile person, a person that other people are going to be fawning over. But you as a person should be able to give them that at home, so that when they go out in public, that they're not acting like an idiot, but that they're still being respectful to you and what you two are interested in building. But one of the things with relationships, and this is how I started this whole lesson tonight, was you got to find out if the person that you met is a safe space. Sometimes people are, what I find, and don't take this the wrong way, Mirror, but sometimes I found that the people that were the most jealous and they were most concerned about me cheating and, oh, you're cheating, it's because of things that they were doing, or things that they knew that they were trying to do or doing. Now, am I saying that your person is cheating? No, that's not what I'm saying. I also find that that's a lot of times that's the issue with these people, is that they're doing stuff that ain't right. Even if you've been in a relationship and you've been with a person that was unfaithful, if you've healed and grown past that, it's not going to be something that you're still bringing up and hashing out. It's not. I say that from personal experience. I've been. Someone cheated on me before. I've been through that. That's why I wrote a book about it. And so when I get in another relationship, I'm not all jealous and concerned, but because my mindset is either we're going to work it out, and either we're supposed to be together or we're not. I don't have no. I don't care. Either it's supposed to work out or it isn't. Either we're supposed to meet each other, we're supposed to be in each other for lives for a period of time. Either we're a match, either we're going in the same direction, or we're not. If we're not, it's easier for us to leave earlier than it is later. So leave as fast as possible. That's the thing that I do. I don't stick around. I'm not going to get physical with you and get all these emotions and all these things going on, because you're going to. All I'll say is that it's just not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. The healthy way is to meet the person, take your time, have the conversations, drag them out, talk them out, and find out where they are and see how they handle different situations. See how they handle conflict. See how they handle disagreement. See how how secure they are. Security is a big thing. But some of the security is, are you doing things to make them feel, have some fun? Are you doing things to make them feel insecure? And so I try to. Yeah, it's an invisible battle that you're going to constantly fight. It is. I was with a person like that. That's why I'm telling you that. And it gets to the point that it's difficult. That's a part of toxicity too. That is a toxic. That's one of the signs. I got a video up, and it talks about the signs of a toxic relationship, and that's one of the signs. That's one of the signs. It's someone that's constantly accusing you of things that they know that you're not doing. And what it does, it always keeps you in a place of defense. You're constantly defending yourself. I'm only going to defend myself once or twice, or a couple times. Then after that, you don't even get a response. And then I get, you know, disillusioned, disinterested, because I don't have to be. This again goes back to you valuing yourself and knowing who you are and knowing what you want, knowing what your expectations are, knowing what a healthy relationship looks like. Should there be should there be some jealousy in your relationship? Of course. If you really like that person, if you really a little jealousy and this, that, and the other. But as far as this person constantly being concerned about other people, and it's not like every other person thinks you're the cat's meow, like maybe they do or they did. So that's part of it is crazy to me in the first place. You know? But it's a behavior within them. It's a shortcoming within them that they're spewing out on you. And so if you don't set that boundary, they're going to continue to keep doing it. You know? In invisible battles, can you let them go? What do you mean, H. Jones? Invisible battles. Yeah, well, that's why a conversation is important, Mirrors. You have to actually sit down with that person and tell them where you stand. Um, and if you've never cheated or been dishonest up to this point, what is the grounds for all of the accusations? And are the accusations helping us to build trust? Because this is why we're talking about these topics of loyalty, trust, honest, transparency. That's the foundation that you should be building that relationship on. If you're getting constantly accused of something, are you building on loyalty, trust, transparency, truth? Are you building on those foundations? Yes, you can solve them, and that's what I'm saying. You can solve them, but you got to have that conversation, and you got to see if the person is willing to solve it. Are they willing to? Because there's no perfect relationships, but that's what part of what I was saying also is that you have to make the decision. Is it worth you? Is this something worth you fighting for? Is this a battle that's worth you fighting for? Is this something that's so that's a decision that you're going to have to make, and then you have to understand that once you make that commitment, that there's going to be days that you're going to be glad you make the commitment. And there's going to be days that you're not. Yeah, 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 yeah. If you have an individual that's constantly moving the goalpost on you, so one day it could be, oh, you're always cheating. Then the next day it's complaining about something else, and the next day, then I mean, you got to look at the behavior. You got to go back. I got those videos up on top to let you know whether you're in a toxic relationship or a healthy relationship. And I would suggest you go look at those videos because those videos will give you a glimpse into who you're connected to. And of course, there's exceptions to everything as far as not everybody fits into a box, but a lot of the things that we were taught are signs to show someone that we love them are actually chaotic and toxic and just not healthy. You know, because in a healthy relationship, there is a level of trust. You learn to trust that person based upon how I started tonight's lesson with finding out that they are a safe space. Can I come to them and bring them information? Can I actually talk to them when there's a disagreement and give them information and then not use the information as a weapon against me at a later date? Can I be transparent with that person? Truly transparent, and them not sharing that information with other people? This is why I talked about those things, because what foundation are you building on? If you're not building on a foundation where you can actually trust this person and know that they are loyal, what are we doing? It's not like we're 20-year-old kids and we're just, oh, they're so cute and I like their shape. And then we're not 20-year-old kids anymore. I don't think I don't know how old y'all are, but my point is, I'm not 20. Okay. And so I'm not going to take the time to try to make someone do something that they don't want to do. Yeah. Thank you for the questions, Mirrors. Mirrors and memories. Yeah, walking on eggshells is another sign that you're in a very chaotic, toxic relationship. If you're walking on eggshells, that person has you in the place where your nervous system will be shot by the time you get out of that thing, if you ever do, because you're always trying to please them. And if you're trying to please people, you're going to be loving them more than you love. What I found is that you end up loving them more than you love yourself, because you're giving to them, and in the process of giving and doing to them, you're suffering yourself. Yeah, it's not fun. I've been there too. I've been there too, trying to take the high road, using my spirituality as a reason as to why I was supposed to do it. Oh, turn the other cheek and do this and do that. And I rationalize all of it. When I talk about gaslighting, that's why you hear me when I talk about it. I often talk about me gaslighting myself first, because that's where it started. It didn't start with that person. It started with me believing certain things. You said, what's up with being a power couple? Who? Who? Oh, man. Wow. I don't even know you, H. Johns, do I? Wow. Wow. You said, what do I want? Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, all of us, it starts with knowing again what you want. Well, the first thing, there's got to be a level of attraction to that person. There's got to be a level of goals where you're both going in the same direction, and knowing what is the vision for your life. What is the long term vision for your life? You know. So mirrors, you said, I guess it's sort of like that every time. Would you say like Lataya? Lataya too. If you need my help, I was going to tell you that. I was going to text you earlier. If you need my help, I'm gonna be off the next couple of weeks. So use me. Use me to go down there and help you out. You would help me out a lot if you use me. They'd get me out of Jersey for days, and then I could help you move and pack your stuff. And so think about that. You would help me, and I would help you. Okay. Um, I don't know what to say. I'm a little flabbergasted right now. Yeah, preacher. But I'm not. I don't. I'm not. I don't. I'm not sure if you're saying I'm a preacher, but I'm not a preacher. I'm not a preacher at all. I'm someone that I teach. My father's a pastor, and I might have some of those mannerisms based upon being raised around that stuff, but I'm not a preacher. I teach. Oh, okay. You said, do I move people? No, I don't move everybody. I don't move everybody. I have special people that have been part of my coaching that asked me to do favors for them. That I just so happen to be off for who knows? I might be off for a month, 2 months. I don't know, because we finished the last 3 houses that we were working on. And so the sales is a little slower. They're sitting on market a little bit longer, and some of that stuff is going on. And so that's why I'm just focusing more on this business, building this out real quick right now. So I got probably a month off, we'll say. If that, I don't know. I'm just saying, for instance. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Oh, you're saying, Lataya, you're saying the way I put the information out there. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 And it's part of the yeah. Yeah, appreciate that. It's part of the like I said, it's part of being raised with a father and a grandfather. I mean, I sat in church my whole childhood from a little kid. I mean, I was a little kid on the drums. Until I got my nephew going, then he was on them. Him and another one of my quote unquote, not he wasn't really my nephew, but I kind of took him on as a nephew. And then by the time I was older and whatever, I kind of moved away from it. But still, I was around all of that stuff for a year. So I probably got mannerisms. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all say. I dedicate a lot of time and energy to this what I'm doing, because I know it's the direction that my life has to go in. If I could have the perfect life right now, perfect to me would be in an island somewhere where I built this business to the level that I don't have to concern myself with other things. I could do this full time, and I could Oh, thank you, Lataya. Mirrors and memories. You said you do. What do you mean you do? You do what? Um, and yeah, so that would be the ideal life. Getting to a place of peace where there's not all this political chaos and all these things that are going on right now. Because I just feel like there's going to be hard times. Yo, preacher vibes, and not in a bad way. Yo, y'all gonna stop with this tonight. We ain't gonna do this. Yeah. Yo, that is funny. See, H. Jones started this, H. Johns, and she done bolted. I think she left. But, she's still here. I'm sorry. But no, y'all, I don't know. I don't know. I just knew that I wasn't supposed to be a preacher. I didn't have the heart for it. I knew I wasn't going to sit in one spot and I want to appreciate that. Thank you for the likes and on them videos too, Lataya. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate that. Because especially recently, I'm talking. Yeah. No. We're just, but you're not, hey, look, H. Jones, you're not the Johns, you're not the first one to say that. I can tell you all the people that said that. When I was on TikTok, people would say that to me all the time. I'm not on I'm not on TikTok because it got a little crazy over there. I'll be back. I'll be back. I was getting disillusioned with the whole process because there's all of these stipulations, and you get all these strikes against you for doing nothing. You're not cussing or doing anything crazy, and they're like penalizing you. I was just tired of it, and so I needed to get a fresh new something fresh. No, 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 no. I want to be similar to like a Joe Dispenza or like a Wayne Dwyer or one of those guys to speak to people in terms of ways that they can heal themselves, because that's my purpose. I understand what my purpose is because my purpose was directly connected to the most painful part of my life, which was my marriage that I was in. And the pain that I learned from that marriage, I was shown that I was supposed to take the pain from that, funnel it into learning everything I needed to learn through that experience. That's part of the reason why I wrote that book. And so through that experience, I end up, and again, if you didn't get a chance to get the book, get the book. This book explains my story of my painful experience. It goes through my journey, the story of how everything happened, and it goes through all of the stages of grief, which were revealed to me. A lot of things were revealed to me in dreams and visions and things like that, through meditations, through prayer, through grounding, just through a lot of spiritual practices that I was doing and that I do. I don't do all of them all the time. Like right now, I'm focused on prayer and breath work. Those are the two things. And meditation, meditation slash prayer, but breath work is one of the most important things, or one of the primary things that I'm doing right now, for my mind, for my, for overall health. If you Google the benefits of breathing techniques or breath work, you're going to be amazed at all of the benefits. And so that's part of some of the stuff that I teach people that go through, my 30-day comprehensive healing program, because I give people step-by-step activities of things that they should be doing to start changing that overall, because you got to go through, like H. Johns mentioned it, Mears mentioned it in the question about if you're with a person and you're walking on eggshells and so on and so forth. If you've been in that type of relationship, you damaged your nervous system. Your nervous system is out of whack. I'll say out of whack. I won't say damaged. And so you got to go through a process of getting yourself back to a place where you're no longer and always in fight or flight, but you're just in a normal, calm place, a good place, a place where you're not worried about the next bad thing that's going to happen, or the next thing that you're going to say, or the next thing you're going to do. You're not worried about all those things because you're with a person. Again, I got to go back to how I started this whole lesson was you're with a person that is a safe space. Someone that is safe is someone that you can confide in, that you can open up to, someone that feels like home. There's a study that just came out recently that talked about that when you find your person, your true person isn't going to have your nervous system all erratic. They're going to bring you to a level of peace, and tranquility. You won't be all in an uproar. You're going to be at more. Yes, yes, Mirrors. You're going to be at home. And so it's getting ourselves to a place where we know that we deserve these things, and we're no longer grappling and groveling to try to get people to find favor in us and to want us or to want you, but getting yourself to the place where you've elevated your manner, your thoughts, your actions, your behavior, and you're starting to manifest better into your life. Good people that have an agenda that they want to be in line with you, that they're not going to fight you tooth and nail and everything. And they're not always picking at everything and talking about everything that you're doing wrong, but they're there as a source of support. That's why you need to know what are the things that you need for love. You have to know what is your love. People talk about love languages. What are the things that you need? Do you need words of affirmation? Is that something that's important to you? Do you need affection? I mean, what are the things that help you to feel closer to that person and to know that you can actually trust them? You know, are they safe? Signs that they're safe. Now, and I posted that video last week also, about, understanding if a person is safe. And one of the ways, again, and I don't want to keep repeating this stuff, but I'm just throwing some things out there for those that might be maybe are in here now that weren't in here before, is that if they're a person that's safer. Yeah, I can talk about the difference between compatibility and chemistry, and I got a video on that too up also. But if they're safe, then they're going to be the type of person that. And matter of fact, I'll talk about that next time we get on here. If y'all want to pick a day, if y'all want to pick a day you want to get on here, and we'll talk about that compatibility versus chemistry. Yeah, is is um, oh, she must have left. Renee, did you leave? Yeah, Renee must have left. Renee, you still in here? Oh, you in here? Okay. Yeah, compatibility versus chemistry. Yo, so if y'all want to do that, maybe in like 2 days. Um, what's today? Tuesday, Monday? I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday. Yeah, y'all want to do that Thursday night? Y'all want to be in here, talk about compatibility versus chemistry? And I'll put this on the back burner. Or if not, then I'll teach another part of this tomorrow. And then maybe Thursday we'll do compatibility versus chemistry. But I mean, I could go over a brief overview of it anyway. But yeah, yeah. You said, don't you believe that there are some mistakes that we need to make? There are some mistakes that we will make. We are human beings. We're not perfect. But to me, what I found is that part of being in a relationship is that you're not gonna take out a magnifying glass and everything your person does, and oh, you did this wrong, and you did no. It's not really fair because we all fumble, we all make mistakes, we all say something wrong, we're short patient, or we don't want to listen. That's part of human nature because you're tired. I mean, this could be any number of reasons because we are again human beings. And so understanding that, to me, there should be a level of maturity with you and that individual where you understand that, you know what, you're not perfect. So why are you expecting them to be on their P's and Q's every second of every day, of every hour, of every minute? They're not going to be. You're living with them now, or you're married to them, or you're in some long-term relationship. And so there's little things because again, we everybody comes from different backgrounds. I come from Southern New Jersey. Renee comes from Virginia. We got other people, another person here, I won't say her name, but she comes from Alabama and Florida. So everybody's different. I can't relate to Alabama. I got northern ways. So when the people talk to me, sometimes the way I imagine how they talk to people down there, that would be an issue for me because I'm from New Jersey. I'm closer to New York than I am. And then, yeah, I got somebody in here from Brooklyn. So this is part of what I'm saying. We got a little bit different mindsets, even being in the same country based upon our geographical location. That's why that you hear some people say, "Oh, they're northern, they're rude. Oh, they're southern, they got southern hospitality." They just cut you out nice. They just say ma'am and sir when they say it. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'm playing, y'all. I'm playing. Yeah. I know you. So you're going to Georgia, so that means probably your grandkids' time, right? See, I know Renee because Renee was with the very first page I started. Renee was one of the first people that came in there, and she's been around since the beginning. YouTube. I mean, um, school. I was on school for a little while. In the process, I transitioned people over to TikTok because I was trying to build up just to share information and give out some stuff where people could, get some free, like basically like I'm doing now. Um, only thing that she wasn't a part of was that last program that I did where I was doing a webinar. I was doing a webinar free, but I was charging for the actual coaching, which that's normal because a laborer is worth their hire. And so, but it was what I was charging was reasonable, especially compared to what I paid. And because again, I always try to think in terms of people, and because things aren't about, it's not about money. Because I make money, I can make money in real estate and other things that I'm doing. And I still would want to get this off the ground to the point where it's self-sufficient. That's the goal. That was the goal, I'll say. And okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll stop. Yes, ma'am. I'll stop. See that? That's exactly what I'm saying. Y'all funny. Yeah. Well, that was another thing with me, mirrors and memories, is that the beliefs, the religious beliefs that I was in, they didn't really believe in divorce. Um, that's part of the reason why there were so many people that kind of turned on me, because they looked down upon my decision as a failure, a spiritual failure. And so I got rejection from a lot of people that were religious and spiritual, or I'll say religious around me. So they had their own opinion about things, but I understand it. I don't take it. I didn't take it. I don't take it personal. Um, I understand it because I just know what I was being told to do, and I know how hard of a struggle it was for me to do it. It was hard. It was a very hard struggle for me to get divorced. Because I just knew that because I was not sure what my life would look like without all the people that had been in my life up to that point, especially my ex-wife. And so when you think in terms of starting over, it's not like I was again, I'm not a 20-year-old kid. When I thought in terms of starting over, that was a daunting, very that was like, gee, Lord, and that's exactly what it was. And so, excuse me, I often talk about when I initially started over that I just worked myself half to death. Yeah, yeah, it was hard, but it was hard, but it was necessary because what it did was it allowed me to stop being so judgmental on a lot of things. As far as I was very stern on a lot of things, and if you didn't believe certain things, it was cut and dry with me. Um, and so I had to. It was almost like I needed to break from what I believed. There had to be a break from where I was and what I believed to come to into where I am now. This is why I say that my main priorities now is because and again I got to stress this point. When I was at my lowest point, the only thing that kind of saved me it wasn't a doctrine that saved me. It wasn't a belief about something that you eat or the day that you worship or about this or about that. None of those things saved me in those moments when I was at my lowest. The thing that saved me was getting on my face and crying out to the Almighty, trying to find out what do I need to do, what is the next steps I need to take, trying to understand the voice of God. That was the thing that I was reaching for. I wasn't reaching for a dogma or a doctrine. I was reaching for the feeling to know that my voice was being heard, and that as I was praying that I was going to receive an answer, and that I was going to receive direction as far as what were my next ordered step, what was my next steps that I needed to take, and that's what I'm saying. Just certain people and things that they just come into my life, and that's how I met my coach. I dreamt about her before I met her, and that for some people that might sound crazy, but when I do when I'm on top of my breathing techniques, as far as my breath work and my meditation, my prayer, when I'm on top of those things, and I don't even need to add fasting in. If I add fasting in, you can forget. I see a lot of things. I get visions. I get dreams. I get my spiritual gifts. They just um, because my mom's side is the side that has they can prophetically see things, and which I can, and so those things start you know they start I don't know what you call it, working, or I don't know. But I just see certain things. I feel certain things. I know I have a knowing about certain things on a spiritual level, not based upon um, anything, but what I'm feeling in my body, based upon experiences that I've gone through. And so it gives me a level of knowing. And yeah, yeah. And so that's why I come from more of a vein of prayer, meditation, breath work. Those are the three main things I do. Yeah, I read holy books because I read a lot of different books, but I do the things that are going to renew my spirit, that are going to keep me in an elevated place, not an arrogant place, but an elevated place spiritually, where I'm not getting beat down. Because if you're out here and you're in these battles, you got to keep yourself in a high frequency. And your breath work, when you Google it, the benefits of breathing techniques or breath work, Google it. I'm telling you, when you get a chance, you're going to see that there's a list of all the health benefits and all these benefits of taking the time to get up in the morning and then start learning how to breathe correctly. You know? Yeah, yeah, Lataya, I can relate. I can relate to that. And so that's kind of my story. I appreciate y'all listening and y'all asking the questions, because if y'all, like I said, some days we can get on here, we can just have conversations and we can have topics that we talk about, because we can kind of build a community on here where we're getting on here certain days and we're just chopping it up, and you know, we're chopping it up. Yeah. I thank y'all for y'all's comments and for y'all being in here. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So have I. Yeah, when you're in those spots where you don't know what to do next, and yeah, but you made it through. Appreciate y'all being in here. I know that I see somebody just pop through. I ain't gonna say nothing, but yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the hundreds. I seen some hundreds that just popped up through that thing. They popped some hundreds up through that thing. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you, Mirrors. Appreciate that. Yeah, but what I was saying is that it's so much more beneficial to build a YouTube community than it is trying to build a community somewhere else, because it's more of a longevity thing, or it's more of a thing where it's more of a community based thing. That was my thought. I have a request. Yes, ma'am. Any more questions? If you have any more questions, you can message me later. Message me on this in this. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to post daily, y'all, or pretty frequently. So there's going to be a lot of information that's I'm going to be putting up. While I'm off from the. Yeah, I'm gonna be specific. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna be specific. Yeah. 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 When I think back, most of the people that I dated, saw, whatever over my life, um, it was a lot of it was chemistry. The initial attraction, the interest, and the conversation was good, and so on and so forth. But yeah, the long term compatibility wasn't there. That's why they end up failing. And even my marriage, even with us being in the same church, the compatibility wasn't there based upon a lot of other things. Um, and one of them was my businesses. Because I've always been a business owner, and so my hours and working and all that, that was always a constant place of a contention. It was a contention when she was driving a big car or something like that, but it was a contention with because of the time that I was spending. But I had to because I was first generation building things. I didn't have a person that was I wasn't like I had a dad that built something, I was taking it over. I was the forerunner. And so I had to put in the weekends and the long hours and you know and of course I was at all the events that I needed to be at, the family things and the vacations and but I was busting my butt trying to build something. That was the goal. Yeah. Uh, yeah, mirrors. I usually get on here 7:15, somewhere around 7. Try to get on here 7 o'clock, and we just and so 7 p.m. Put it in your calendar. 7 p.m. Thursday. Yeah, 7 p.m. Yeah. I thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I've never been on TikTok. Facebook for an hour and a half. This is good. I appreciate that. They might even give me a reward for this. What? I don't know. Um, no problem. H. Johns, no problem. All right, y'all. You have any more questions? If not, all right, Mears, appreciate you. All right, Renee, talk to you soon. Appreciate it. Thank you, H. John. If y'all don't follow me on TikTok, um, it's Arnold Austin on TikTok. Arnold Austin. It's the letter A. Matter of fact, I think you can get there from here. Arnold Austin. You want to follow me on both pages because I might end up getting back on there just to run the lives from here and there because I was running it from both places. I don't know. I'm debating. Just the audience there is a little bit different, though. It's a little bit less mature, I think. But lip service. What do you mean, Lataya? I should have told them before they left. All right, y'all. Okay. All right. I'm not sure who else is in here, but All right. I'm gonna stand here for 5 more minutes just to go an hour and 30. I got on here to try to get on here for 15 minutes. I'm on here for an hour and 30. You know, man, I don't have nothing. There's nothing else I'm doing. Yeah, that was lip service. What do you mean, Natalia? If you're still in here, what do you mean? You know, I gotta eat something. Getting hungry. Hungry. Natalia Aaron. K5H. Yeah, this is a good live. Got a chance to share a little bit of a topic. Um, shared a little bit of my testimony, answered some questions, talked about the book. Got another topic for Thursday. Yeah, this is a good live. I'm glad I did it. Two people in here. Who's in here? Who's left? Natalia, you still in here? You didn't answer the question. I'm not sure what you meant. All right. I'm not sure who's in here, but enjoy your night. What's that? What's that? So true as far as what? Good night? That. Come on, John. It's my boy John. I'm not sure who's in here, but I appreciate y'all, each and every one of you. Like I said, I wanted to give it an hour and 28. Just like 2 minutes, a minute left, a minute. Oh, he said, write the vision and make it plain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's part of that's yeah, yeah, yeah. That's important. My crazy sister. I gotta answer every question of hers. I asked her for some information. And she's taking me through an interrogation to give me the answer. Good Lord. My sister's special, y'all. Oh my God, this girl's special. She's like really special. It's that attorney brain. She's got a brain like an attorney. They always micro figure everything out and ask you 20,000 questions for nothing, just to talk longer. Okay, hour and 30. All right, y'all. I did an hour and 30, which is a first on this page. And so I appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all for the taps, likes, shares, and everything else in between. Appreciate each and every one of you. I don't think I'm going to edit this video because I have a lot of extra stuff on the end. So I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And yeah, have a great night. Like I always say, but it'll be up. It'll be up probably pretty much immediately. I just changed the title and the thumbnail in probably a day or two. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Like I always say, I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself because you can do it. All right. And if you need help, you got to reach out to me. Okay. Reach out ASAP. Talk to you soon. Have a great night.